Rabbi Lawrence Kushner tells the story about a time when he took a preschool class into the sanctuary to show them the parts of our religion that are revealed inside our holy spaces. And as they approached the ark, he asked the children what they imagined was contained behind the curtain. Said one, a avid fan of game shows, clearly, that behind that curtain was a new car. Another suggested that there was a surprise. And yet it was the third student who suggested that within that ark we find a mirror, who most captured Rabbi Kushner's and my imagination. Because in a very real way, we do understand our Torah to be a reflection of our universal experience that we take into the particular of our own lives. They're lessons for us, and they are reflections of generations past, and in this we see the story of our own lives also. You know, the idea of looking into a mirror is captured quite literally in the experience of being on Zoom, because very often our own view of ourself is staring back at us, and if you're like me, I'll concede, I'll confess, it's hard to look away from our own face staring back. We are self-critical, and we are captivated by it, and we are distracted when we look into our own face. It's an odd experience, even though we are incredibly familiar with that who looks back at us. Significantly, the events of these past weeks, with the killing, the murder of George Floyd, convulsing our country with protests that have now been repeated around the globe, we also find that we cannot look away, that we see ourselves in the story. We see ourselves complicit in the images and in that video, that terrible video that lasts for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, in which we watch a man's life be cruelly snuffed out and taken from him. And something has been taken from us. Certainly something will be required of us as we continue to look into ourselves, into our souls, and into the reflections of who we want this country to be, understanding that it is a composite of the reflection of all of us. The story is ours. The work is ours. And we work in partnership with those around us who similarly want to engage in acts of tikkun olam, ongoing world repair. It's a very challenging time to be a human being in the world. It's a challenging time to be an American in this country. It's a challenging time to be a Jew, and to draw from our tradition and the reflections of all those who came before us and the images of our higher selves, that we might commit ourselves to being better tomorrow than we were yesterday, to being part of the solution rather than either being victims or to be complicit perpetrators. And as we commit ourselves, as we move into these early days of summer, anticipating the new year on the horizon, the election that will soon be upon us, and the future that is ours to inherit, may each of us continue to look deeply into ourselves, to not be afraid, to stare there, to stay there, and not look away. And may we commit ourselves to revealing what is inside Torah and inside our own hearts, and in this way, bringing healing, hope, and peace, shalom, into the world. Shabbat shalom.